You don't even know enough to be embarrassed about these stereotypes that you're perpetuating.
That's not fair.
Isn't it?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 songs we're glad Glee wasn't around for.
That was the most offensive thing I've seen in 20 years of teaching, and that includes an elementary school production of Hair.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most notable tracks that got big after the show ended its run that we're thankful the characters didn't get a chance to perform. What song are you happiest Glee never got the opportunity to touch? Let us know in the comments. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below. Number 10, Bad Guy, Billie Eilish. There are two major ways a Glee cover of this self-aware alternative track could have gone, and neither are particularly appealing. Rachel and Kurt would have infused it with the musical theater energy they love so much.
I agree, we do an awful lot of show tunes.
It's Glee Club.
And hey, show tunes are great, but Rachel over-enunciating each lyric as she and Kurt belt their hearts out is the opposite of what Bad Guy demands. After all, Eilish is known for her quiet power.
I do what I want when I'm wanting to. My soul, so cynical.
But we're also pretty spooked just thinking about what a rebellious pink-haired Quinn may have done with the song during her infamous goth phase. It's safe to say it would have been a lot. Luckily, we didn't have to see either of those scenarios play out. Number 9, Watermelon Sugar, Harry Styles. The characters didn't shy away from covering One Direction songs during the show's run, so they definitely would have jumped at the chance to put their own unique and embarrassing spin on Harry Styles' solo work.
I'm just thinking out loud.
There's a lot of material they could cover, but Watermelon Sugar, with its heavy innuendos, would have wielded the most disturbing results. After all, the Glee Club, also known as New Directions, wasn't exactly known for its subtlety, so they would have made extra sure we understood that Styles isn't really singing about fruit.
Watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high.
Kurt, Blaine, and the other boys might have even banded together and performed it as a unit. Their over-the-top choreography would have definitely played up the track's suggestive double entendres. We don't even want to picture what that would have looked like.
Now push it!
Push it, push it good, push it.
Number 8, Good For You, Olivia Rodrigo. Olivia Rodrigo gave us the breakup album of 2021 with Sour, and this track stands out as one of her most pop-punk numbers.
Good for you, you're doing great out there without me, baby. Like a damn sociopath!
There's no way the members of the Glee Club would have let it slip through their fingers. There was certainly no shortage of messy relationships for them to sing about.
You busted my window. How could you do that? You busted my window.
Well, you busted my heart.
Now, much of the song's music video takes place in a school, with Rodrigo leading a group of cheerleaders, so the unholy trinity of Quinn, Santana, and Brittany would have surely taken the lead in their Cheerios uniforms. Or worse still, the club would have created a Good For You driver's license mashup, despite the two songs' distinct melodies. It sounds like the stuff of angsty nightmares.
You're punishing me.
Contrary to your beliefs, it's not all about you.
Number 7, Look What You Made Me Do, Taylor Swift. This song is widely regarded as Taylor Swift's powerful response to the way her reputation had been tarnished, with the music video further driving the message home.
The role you made me play of the fool. No, I don't like you.
It's an extremely layered work, but all of that would have undoubtedly been lost in a Glee cover. Can't you just see it? Rachel would have gotten called out for sabotaging whoever she felt was threatening her shot at being the New Direction's leading lady that week.
I just don't get it. You're better than this.
No, she's an ambitious little freak who'll do anything to hold on to her power.
Missing the point, she would have used Look What You Made Me Do as her angry, rage-filled reply. And it definitely would have taken her way too long to realize that she was in the wrong.
I would very much like to be excluded from this narrative.
We're just glad the show ended before we were all subjected to that narrative. Number 6, Old Town Road, Lil Nas X featuring Billy Ray Cyrus. If you thought the Glee version of Red Solo Cup was bad, just think of what they would have done to Old Town Road.
Let's have a party. Let's have a party. Let's have a party.
The Lil Nas X track, particularly the version featuring Billy Ray Cyrus, was everywhere for a while. And it's easy to see why. It's fun, catchy, and blends country and rap together seamlessly.
Gonna take my horse to the Old Town Road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
Something tells us that the New Directions version would have been corny and cliched at best. We could just imagine watching as Sam mangled Cyrus's parts, while Artie struggled to nail Lil Nas X's sections. And considering how much Mr. Shu loved to rap, despite being awfully bad at it, he surely would have joined in too.
Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights, huh, and I'll glow.
Add in some cowboy hats, and the result would have been disastrous. Number 5, Despacito, Luis Fonsi featuring Daddy Yankee. If you've ever watched Glee, then you likely know that Mr. Schuster, who had no Latin heritage, started out as a Spanish teacher on the show.
La cucaracha. Oh. La cucaracha. La cucaracha. Hey, hey. Ya no puede caminar.
Thankfully, he ultimately switched gears, and by the time the Latin pop hit Despacito came into our lives, Glee itself was nothing more than a memory. But what if we lived in a timeline where the song's release occurred during the show's early years, while Mr. Shu was still teaching Spanish? He would have certainly tried and failed to show off his language and dance skills by trying to emulate Luis Fonsi and Daddy Yankee. He'd possibly even turn it into some weird class assignment. We shudder at the very idea.
It was you. You're the one who complained to Principal Thickens about me.
Yeah, and I do it all over again after that performance.
Number 4, Formation, Beyoncé. Beyoncé's a powerhouse performer, often in a league of her own, but that never seemed to discourage the Glee characters from singing her songs.
Acting up, drinking my cup, I can care less what you think.
If her Lemonade album had been released while the show was airing, you can bet Formation would have been poorly covered. Kevin McHale, who played Artie, once tweeted that a Kurt and Rachel take on the track would have been blasphemous. We couldn't agree more.
'Cause I slay, I slay, I slay, I slay, all day, I slay.
Look, Mercedes had the chops to slay the vocals, but even with her taking the lead, the rest of the club wouldn't have known what to do with themselves. There were already enough Beyoncé and Destiny's Child Glee covers, so we definitely didn't need another one.
I can't help but wonder why is my vibe too violations for you, babe. Shake my jelly at every chance.
Number 3, the Hamilton soundtrack, original Broadway cast of Hamilton. Lin-Manuel Miranda's hugely successful musical about founding father Alexander Hamilton officially opened on Broadway in August of 2015.
My name is Alexander Hamilton. And there's a million things I haven't done. But just you wait, just you wait.
Luckily, Glee ended just a few months before, in March 2015. In an alternate world, we could have gotten a Hamilton episode of the show, and the New Directions would have gotten all dressed up to perform the opening number. But it wouldn't have ended there. Mr. Shu and Sue could have fought through the cabinet battle numbers. The loser would have inevitably given us a melodramatic rendition of The Room Where It Happens.
But we dream in the dark for the most part. Broadcast the room where it happens.
Rachel would have done the most with Satisfied, as she complained about being underappreciated. And if we take it back to season 1, Finn could have serenaded Quinn's ultrasound by singing Dear Theodosia. Need we say more?
Hey, turn around, bend over. I'll show you where my shoe fits. Excuse me.
Number 2, WAP, Cardi B featuring Megan Thee Stallion. The New Directions once performed Salt and Peppa's Push It in an effort to recruit more members.
Come on, girls, let's go show the guys that we know how to become number one in a hot party show.
And as deeply unsettling as that was, their version of WAP would have assuredly been a million times worse. Everyone knows what the song's title stands for.
What do you think? Am I being too obvious?
And let's just say there's no universe in which we would want to see the Glee Club's take on that. It could have easily been a big group number, with everyone from Artie to Rachel to Brittany making us cringe in equal measure. To make matters worse, Mr. Schuester probably would have participated in the performance, making it super creepy. Granted, they likely would have covered the clean version, but that wouldn't have made it any better.
But she ain't messing with no broke. Get down, girl, go ahead, get down.
We're uncomfortable just thinking about it. Before we unveil our number one pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Thank You Next, Ariana Grande. We're all better off without a Glee version of this self-love anthem.
No need for searching, give all that I say. Thank you.
We Don't Talk About Bruno, Carolina Gaitan, Moro Castillo, Adasa, Renzi Feliz, Diane Guerrero, Stephanie Beatriz, and cast of Encanto. This performance would have needed to be hidden in Casita's walls.
It's like I hear him. Hey sis, I want not a sound out of you.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Dynamite, BTS. BTS has played a big part in boosting K-pop's popularity in North America, with their captivating music and perfectly synchronized dance moves. Their English language hit Dynamite consistently stands out as one of their biggest and most well-known numbers. In other words, the Glee Club would have found a way to butcher it. There's no way Sam, Kurt, or the others would have been able to pull off the choreography, or any other part of the number for that matter. Plus, you know they would have made Tina explain the origins of K-pop, which could have been problematic to say the least. They wouldn't have stopped after just one BTS song either. Thankfully, the stars aligned, the timing worked out, and we never had to sit through any of this. Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.